Hello fam, welcome to the another session of your Hackathon 2.0. I am Shiv from Web3 for All, and today here we have Akshay from Buidl UP. Akshay, start with your intro, then move into Buidl UP. Finally, we will wrap it up with some Q&A. Okay, Akshay, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you bro, for having me. My name is Akshay, and I'm the co-founder of Buidl UP. I've been a community builder for about 2 years now. Started off as a moderator because when I started off learning Web3, there were no substantial articles or resources that I could easily find to learn about Web3 or NFTs, right? So only way for me to learn was by contributing to a community and in turn asking the community founders or the admins to kind of help me out. So that's how I started off my journey into Web3. I just hosted events. I volunteered to moderate the community for a few hours. And in turn, there are wonderful founders who helped me understand a few things about NFT, Web3, tech, and all those things. So that put me right into the path of community management, right? I've been building communities, like I mentioned, for about 2 years now, and then I felt, it'll be better if I could have a community team instead of me just doing all the work. I felt having a community team would get much more work done um, with more positive outcomes for the community as such. So I found this company called Build Up with one of my dearest friends, Roshan, and we have been running this small company for about 8 months now. We have a few Web3 projects who are currently working with us. Kana Labs, Guardian, and we work with Vincidao, Xfinite, BC, and all these other big projects as well. So that has been about build up and what we've been doing, and to talk a bit about what build up does. I think probably just share a few things, right? Um, Let me know if you can see my screen. Hello.
Yeah, I can see.
Cool. Yeah. So sorry for, I mean, there's a lot of text, like a lot of text here, but one of the key key aspects or unique selling point of build up is that we focus on business outcomes through community. We felt that community management in Web3 has always been about hype, energy, and just engagement, right? But building a community means putting a part of your marketing budget aside and expecting something out of it. For some reason, most of the founders or community managers themselves don't understand. It's not about having 10,000 people in Discord and just spamming the shit out of the server, right? At some point, people have to think about ROI and all that stuff. So we found this gap and we doubled down on it. We are fully business centric and we are completely data driven. We rely on a few tools, and we are currently building a tool of our own um, to help us build communities based on data models. So that is definitely something unique about our company, which kind of uh, which kind of differentiates, right? Because most of other companies don't do the same. Yeah, and we offer a few things. We offer full stack community building, which is you come to us, let's say you're a Web3 project or a product and you have no idea how to start a community from scratch. So what we do is that we work with you guys to understand again your business outcomes. What is that you want out of the community, which is obviously um, people have to understand. And sadly, this exercise is not being regularly done in the Web3 ecosystem for some reason. I don't know why. So, I mean, this is something that we found after interacting with a lot of founders, right? Most of the founders don't know what they want from their community. Sales, yes, but other than that, what are the tangible and intangible incomes you guys want? Most of them don't understand that. So we'll start with the discovery call. We'll understand the client's needs, And we'll deploy a team of moderators and community managers who have been trained under the data model work style, as I mentioned before. And we'll be providing you a working strategy and also executing the same, starting from zero. The other two is community events and engagement. Let's say you already have a community, but the community is practically dead, which most of the communities in Web3 are. So we tend to go there, take our time, do an initial audit, understand the pain points, and also identify areas of opportunities. And we work our magic to make the community a bit more engaged, and also make sure that we hit the ROI goals. The third is consultancy and audit. Let's say you have a team, but they're not performing well or they need some guidance. Then that's where we come and we ask them or we consult them on the best practices to build a community um, based on what the community is and what their goals are. So yeah, this is what Build Up does, and these are the metrics that we usually focus on: our engagement rate, our response time, number of total active members, better inactive to active member ratio, member growth, and positive sentiments. For this, we rely on this tool called Common Room, but right now we are working on our own tool as well to kind of productize our service. So that's going on, and some of the areas that we have already worked with and have expertise are definitely metaverse community building, which is something very unique and not done before. So we work with this company called Rapigen, and we do community building services for them in the metaverse, right? We have worked with multiple DAOs. Noteworthy DAOs are Vinci DAO, Bold DAO, Food DAO. DeFi protocols, like I mentioned, Kana Labs, your X2 model. We work with Xfinite, the Watch to Earn product, right? So yeah, we have worked with a lot of different Web3 products as well. Yeah, this is a very small understanding or look into how we did community management in the metaverse as well. So if any metaverse companies are here, I'm sure you understand that the engagement or maintaining the engagement or retaining visitors is huge pain, right? So that's where we come and we make sure that the members are welcome, they understand where they want to go and how to use this new platform. This turns out to retain most of the members and also provide them a wonderful experience. Yeah, so these are very small use cases and case studies. You can see the numbers that we were able to achieve. This is for Bolda. And this is for Vincida. Vincida is a learning community where we taught community managers how to become better community managers essentially. So these are the numbers there. And this is for Kana Labs. For Kana Labs, we were able to not only scale the off-chain, engagement, which is your Discord engagement, your Twitter followers, and whatnot, but also we are able to scale the on-chain transactions, right? Um, so, um, so after our initial contests and consulting, we were able to scale the on-chain transaction up to 8 times. So that was definitely a huge deal, and we were able to scale the community from just 3,000 members to over 18,000 members in a span of 3 months. This is completely organic, no bots or nothing, right? So that is always something we are very proud of. Yeah, I guess these. I think this will be a very clear introduction of what build up does. Yeah.
Awesome. Then we can move to the Q&A section.
Yeah.
So, what is the importance of community building in the Web3 ecosystem, and why it is so crucial for its success?
Yeah, I think Web3, the beauty of Web3 is that we preach decentralization, right? And that's what Web3 does. And decentralization cannot happen without a community in place, where the community feels the ownership of taking actions for themselves and also for the betterment of the extended community also. And community building as a practice in itself, I fell in love with because I think uh, yes, marketing obviously, personalized marketing is one of the ways to go about to increase engagement and also lead to better product usage. Definitely agree. But other than that, I think we'll have to think about retention. Let me just share my screen so that I made a very small presentation for that also. Yeah, this is one of my favorite quotes related to community, right? So the quote says, "Community is a place where people don't just want to lay bricks; they want to build a cathedral. Anything done together is always magnificent than doing something individually, right?" So a wonderful quote that I always abide by and preach when I talk about community building. And yeah, as you mentioned, why community? It's very simple, right? Retention, as I mentioned earlier. Let's say Nike launches a community, but Adidas doesn't. And once you build the customer loyalty in the Nike community, the chances of Nike community members going to Adidas is significantly reduced because they feel more loyal and satisfied by interacting with the Nike community itself, right? So this is a very, very basic example that I'm trying to give. So obviously, building a community increases customer loyalty and satisfaction, and it definitely reduces recruitment costs. So let me give you an example. So DAOs is a wonderful example, right? Let's say there are multiple service DAOs, and for example, WGMI, which I'm a part of. WGMI is a community service DAO, and the DAO recruits community managers to do some work, right? The beautiful part is that you don't have to go to LinkedIn, post a job requirement, and then get a bunch of resumes to figure out who the next community manager could be. All you could do is just go to your community and ask. Uh, so it's as simple as that, right? You wouldn't know how or who is the best community manager or the best designer or the best developer there is. All you have to do is just ask your community, and it'll just do wonders. Attracting new customers, yes. uh, Customer attraction is very important. You can run ads, you can get members, but word of mouth has always been effective, and no one can disagree on that. um, and the possibilities of them being on the community is much more higher because they heard wonderful reviews and they came here on the recommendation of a friend. So that's always important. And community allows you to learn what the customer wants. Let's say you're building a product, but you don't know if the product is actually necessary. You might think it's a wonderful idea, right? I mean, everyone thinks whatever they start is a wonderful idea, but how do you get the validation, or how do you identify the PMF or the product market fit? You just go to your community after you build it or while you're building it, and then just ask what they want, what they need, and how they feel about these new features or feel about the product itself. You'll get a wonderful idea, and also understand if the path that you're taking is right or wrong. So yeah.
Cool. Uh, how can community building contribute to the growth and development of the Web3 technology and its adoption despite this bear market?
Yeah, I mean, Web3, like any other emerging technology, has been very technical, right? It's a developer's playing ground. Not any common people or marketeers can get into the ecosystem very easily because it is by default developer friendly, and there are a lot of not only lingos but also foundational aspects that people need to go through. That's definitely a learning barrier when it comes to Web3, which no one again can disagree with. So building communities is I think one of the ways where we could ideally break the learning barrier by interacting with members individually, personally getting on calls with them, making them understand what the tech we are building, what is the tech that we are building, and what is the impact that the tech might bring about, right? Um, so yeah, it definitely helps with retaining retaining a lot of people, and building a culture always helps. So yeah, I think for the betterment of the ecosystem, community builders play a huge role. Let's say someone wants to learn about DeFi, right? They have no idea what DeFi is. The first thing that they can do, or the best thing that they can do, is join a DeFi community and just ask random questions. And I'm sure every community manager or moderator will just run down to help them, right? So that kind of breaks down the learning barriers. Or if even if they don't have time to, they'll just find out the best possible resources for the person to learn. And this becomes a domino effect or a ripple effect to kind of reach the mass audiences. So yeah, I think in that particular aspect, I would say community building will definitely help the ecosystem, especially in a bear market where people uh, have the time to learn. Unlike before, everyone is just trying something to stick, right? So they're just throwing shit at the wall, hoping that something will stick, without taking time to understand what the tech is, what the market opportunity is, and whatnot. So, especially in the bear market, taking a step back, interacting with a lot of people and making them understand, hey, listen, this is what is happening, and this is what you should do. It's obviously going to improve the ecosystem's health by a lot of things. Yeah.
Great. Okay. What are the key elements of a successful community building strategy in Web3, and how can they be implemented?
Community building strategy. Um, yeah, sorry. So this is yeah. Yeah. So community building strategy, according to me, has three very small things, right? So again, I would put this question as where to focus. So one is providing value, especially in the bear market. People don't want to just, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but 1.5 years or 2 years ago, joining a Discord server or getting access to the community meant you have to spam the server and reach different levels, right? But that has drastically changed. People are like, okay, why should I even join your community? What is the value that you're giving me? So that's definitely a positive change that we've been seeing. So definitely focus on providing value. Value could be through educational materials. Value could be through customer support. Value could be through assistance for developers, right? But focus on what value you can get. The next is social validation. Obviously, people like to be acknowledged, right? Um, One thing you have to understand is that every Web3 enthusiast is in at least 50 to 100 different Discord servers. So if you're a community manager or if you're a founder, more than value, what you have to give your members is social validation. Because if you are giving, let's say, $100 as a giveaway, 15 different other servers are going to do the same, if not better. Yeah, they might give $120 as a giveaway. So what makes a community member stay and contribute in a community is something that you have to really think about. And I think social validation goes a long way. Appreciating the members' contribution, giving them a platform to express themselves, allowing the members to take up initiatives. So these are very small, very small things which I personally think will have a huge impact when building a community. The third is, yeah, consistency. Uh, this is where 98% of the community managers fail. They come up with beautiful, community strategies. They have all the metrics and all those things in place, but they don't stay consistent. Consistency builds the culture, right? If that is the intention. If you do the things that you have planned for 2 weeks, well and good. But after 2 weeks, you just stop it or miss a day or two, then it's not the ideal situation to be in. Yes, it is difficult. Yes, it can be emotionally draining, but consistency is definitely the one of the key things that community managers or founders should look into. And yeah, last thing is, always start with a small community, right? Uh, I mean, it's very simple. You have to understand who your community members are. If you do an airdrop and get 10,000 community members, you will have no idea why they even joined the community in the first place. Are they going to use the product at the end of the day? Why are they even here? Are they here just to get other giveaways, or were they genuinely interested in our product? You'll have no idea, right? So always start small, curate your initial members by reaching out in Twitter, LinkedIn, or Discord. Bring them to your community, have conversations with them, and then you scale, right? So that is the ideal way. Yes, it is slow. Yes, it is time consuming, but this is the best way to grow a sustainable community. And yeah, so this is one of my favorite memes, right? So it says we got 12,000, 12 lakhs, whatever members in 7 days. But it doesn't mean that you have a community. It doesn't mean that You have active contributors, doesn't mean that your members are helping the newcomers come in, or you have a good onboarding process or whatever that is. It's not just about the number, right? It's about the quality and the value you give. So definitely focus on the quality of the members and the quality of value you provide. Yeah.
Cool. How can community building foster innovation, collaboration, and knowledge sharing among members in the Web3 space?
uh, i think um, I think Questbook is a wonderful example. Questbook was an early tech grant community which I was a part of. uh, it's all about, again, enabling that is different, right? If you're asking how do we do that, that's a different discussion altogether. But an example for the exact question is definitely Questbook. Questbook um, I saw at least 3 to 4 different products coming out of the Questbook community. Shout out to Raj and Madhavan. Um, at least 3 to 4 products coming out of Questbook community, where they just go around and ask, "Hey guys, any developers here? I have this very interesting idea. Would love to discuss with a few marketeers and developers." And then a few marketeers and developers will just jump into the conversation and have a discussion, and within a week they'll have a product ready. So I think communities is definitely the best way to induce collaboration in the ecosystem. And yeah, Questbook is obviously a wonderful example. There are a lot of things like Bankers. I think Bankers also has a few products coming out of them, and I think Product Folks, sorry, the Product House. There are a few other communities where you can often see products coming out um, from the community itself. Before that, you would see only this happening only either through hackathons or offline meetups. But since we have built a community of developers, marketers, business peeps, community guys, I think it has become just 10 times easier. Yeah.
Yes. What are the best practices of effective community building in the Web3 ecosystem, and how can they be leveraged?
Yeah. So it's very simple, right? I would suggest people to start with discovery. Discovery, I've suggested 3 things here. Do first one-to-one calls with your members, with your active members. Customer survey or community survey. It could be a Google form, or you could just directly have a conversation. And do focus group calls. So let's say you're building a DAO and you have like 3 to 4 sub DAOs or guilds in it. It is always beneficial if you do focus group calls by having a few people in the same call and making, and understanding what they think about the product, what they think of the community. It gives a wonderful um, plane for you to start with, right? Understanding who your members are and discovering what they want, what they like, and why they even joined the community in the first place, and what would make them stay in the community. I just directly asked members. It has always helped me. Don't just think and just blow your brains out. Just go and ask them, hey, whatever or whoever that is, what can I do to make you stay in the community? And they'll say, okay, I was looking for ABC, and if you could do ABC, it will be helpful. So that's what I do. It's as simple as that. And second is building a community persona. Community persona is again very important. It'll help you to position your content. Let's say again you're building a community, and there are developers in it, there are NFT traders in it, then there are crypto traders, right? Crypto traders technically wouldn't care if you post any development related content in the Discord server. So naturally you'll get very minimal um, engagement, and you might think that the content is not working. No, that's not the case. It's about where you put those content, right? So understanding who your users are and categorizing them into different personas is obviously very important. It helps you with personalization and targeting of your content and community experience as well. So this is one of the examples. So there are observers, there are neutrals who just kind of react and do anything, don't do anything else. There are regulars, there are contributors, there are super users. So this is just an example that you guys could follow and identify your community persona as well. And I have one other thing that I could probably show. Um, yeah, it's important to build a minimum viable community. So if you guys want, um, just send me a DM in Twitter, or say hi in LinkedIn. I'll share this community canvas worksheet. This will help a lot, right? It'll help you answer all the questions that you want before building a community. This is not just for community managers; this is for founders also, who are like, "Hey, I want to get started with community building and I don't know what to do." So these are some of the questions you can just go and type stuff here, right? And yeah, if you guys are looking for it, I'll just let me know, and then yeah, I'll share it with you guys. Always building a minimal viable community is important. Just a second. Yeah, so again, you have to think about engagement. How you're going to engage your members? Are you going to engage through content? If so, what are the kind of content you're posting? Always have short and long-term strategies to engage with your members, and also make sure that the content or the engagement plan is a bit dynamic and not very static. So that will also help a lot. Yeah.
Uh, you already explained that. I mean, for the engagement, let's deep dive into it. What
Yeah.
is the role of community building in driving user engagement and adoption of Web3 technology?
What is the sorry? What is the role of?
Community building in driving user engagement and adoption of Web3 technology.
Yeah, I mean, um, see, you have to understand that again. I think I'll go back to the social validation example, right? Community members are more motivated to contribute and more motivated to learn in a community setting more than follower setting. Follower setting is where your interaction with the product or the project is by being a follower, right? You're a Twitter follower or an Instagram follower, and your interaction with the project or the product is either through liking, commenting, or retweeting, which is definitely good. But will that help in making a community member or a follower in that sense to active much more actively? I wouldn't say so. Um, so building a community obviously helps, right? Because you're connecting with the members personally, and you get to understand, um, what their goals are and how we can help. That will always push the community members to contribute more, since you are giving their attention and social validation that people usually seek. That will always help members to kind of push themselves and not contribute only through just likes, retweets, and comments. Right? What I've seen is that community members, contributing a podcast itself. Right? This won't be possible if our interaction were in Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. So while I was building a community, the members were so motivated. They were just having too much fun, and they said, "Hey, I think four of us together will host a community podcast for you guys, so that our community will reach greater heights." That was a wonderful initiative, and the reason that they did that was they felt comfortable with the members, and they related a lot with the product itself, right? And they did get the social validation that usually people look for. That's a very simple hack for that.
Awesome. Let's go to the quick standard questions. Just two questions.
Mhm.
Tell me three names who has been most influential to you.
Three names have been most influential to me. Um, okay. Um, uh, should it be celebrities, or should it be Web3 folks? I don't know.
No, there is
Yeah.
no particular. Hmm.
So one of the early communities that I joined was the Abominable Bunch. If anyone is watching, do check them out. It is one of the first communities that I've joined, and it has always been the best decision, right? So they were just wonderful people who understood the importance of Web3 and didn't you know um, and they didn't give into the hype and energy of the Web3 space, right? They focused on understanding who their members were. They focused on actually providing value, and to me, that was very important because if I had gone into any other community, then I guess I wouldn't be here, and I guess I would have been in the same cycle of hype, energy, and bullshit. But since I joined their community, and the admins there were they're just very sweet. They just taught me a lot of things and always been very inspirational. And they helped me build a career in Web3 because to me that was like okay. 99.9% of the projects are doing absolute shit, and these guys are doing a wonderful job because they actually care about the members. Again, guys, just check them out. Tab the Abominable Bunch. I'm not involved in the project in any way or form, but I always give a shout out to them wherever and whenever I can. That was one. And two, I think I listen to quite a lot of podcasts. So I would say Joe Rogan was definitely quite influential because he made me understand that asking questions or asking the right questions is important in the learning stages, right? So Joe Rogan was definitely helpful. Yeah, yeah, I guess that's it.
Cool. Um, what books are you, reading right now, and three book recommendations from your side?
I don't read books, bro. I really want to, but I don't read books. Uh, I'm not a huge book reader. But yeah. So
Podcast?
go with your full. Yeah, podcast. I do listen to a lot of podcasts. So three podcasts that I would suggest is definitely listen to Joe Rogan. And if you are a person who would like to get into let's say there's talk about network states from Balaji, and you want to have like a deep level understanding, then don't go to Joe Rogan, right? Or let's say AI or whatever the conversation is, go to Lex Friedman. This guy just pops out 6 hour, 5 hour podcast series. So Lex Friedman is I think he's a tech major also. I'm not sure. Yeah, very intelligent people. They have wonderful conversations all the time. Darknet Diaries is one of my other favorite podcasts. They deal with cybersecurity, cybercrime, and that is always very interesting. Um, yeah, so Joe Rogan,
Novel?
and Darknet Diaries.
Yes. Yeah. Novel podcast also is one such interesting podcast.
Sorry?
Novel Ravikant.
Yeah, Naval Ravikant, the Joe Rogan one you said.
Cool. Any closing notes from your side, Akshay?
Yeah, I think the space, the Vectory space has seen community managers in not a good light, at least from my experience. If you guys are doing a good job, acknowledging community managers, then kudos, keep doing that. But community managers are the backbone of the ecosystem, and we would love to have any kind of support that we can get because we are doing some pretty remarkable work. And uh, yeah, I mean, as founders, make sure you understand um, the importance of building communities. And if you want to build your Web3 community the right way, definitely reach out to us um, at Build Up. Yeah.
Thank you, Akshay, for joining this session.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Have a good day.
Wait for 30 seconds.